Hello, 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 friends. So we're today going to do a preview of a deck that is going to be launching on Kickstarter in a couple weeks. Actually, I think in under a week or about a week. I love to do this for creators whose work I like and respect, and for people who I personally like and admire. And this is one of those. This is the Marseille Prendre by Krista of NEK's Tarot. In my part of the world, we say auntie, but I hear her say auntie, so I'm trying to do that. But either way, NEK's Tarot created this gorgeous, fun, fresh, modern Marseille that features people of global majority, and it's a delight. If you haven't been following her progress on Instagram, do that. And back the deck when it comes out. We're going to do a little walkthrough of a test print. This is not the deck as it is. This is just to give you a sense of what it will look like. So it's really just a test print. So I'm just going through. I have some notes from Krista on my phone. So I'm going to put a link to the video that she did, which has some commentary on some updates that she's making to the artwork and the changes. So I'll put that link below. I'll put all the links to the Kickstarter below. And I think that's everything. So again, there'll be some refinements and some adjustments as any creator would do prior to this being fully launched and printed. But very happy to showcase this. So let's zoom in and let me show you the cards. So again, this is a test print. It's not necessarily what the box and cardstock is going to look like, etc. But it's nice as a reviewer to have like an actual physical thing to share with you. So it's a mixed media deck. So you get some sort of photography with digital art. It's not AI, it's hand-drawn, done, I think, through Procreate, if I'm not mistaken. So here we have Le Fou, the Fool. I love this whole situation. And I love the mix of sort of real and art, or photo and drawn. I think that's a fun polarity, a fun duality. So we have the Conjurer and the Popess. I really dig this. I think it's great. Like here, you'll see little things like there's some printing things on these test prints. Again, that's not going to look that way. This is just to give you a sense of the deck as it will look. So the Popess. I love the color palette, and I love these backs. These gorgeous backs. So, when people do these things, I don't get asked to do this very much because, I don't know, I'm a pain in the ass, I guess. But when people do ask me, and I'm really excited about it, I'm really enthusiastic, and I'm all about representation in decks. And also, like, this is kind of great, and I love that it's modern, I love that it's Marseille, I love that it's colorful. It's sort of everything that I wish that I could have done this. This is one that I did, where I just kind of traced and recolored and redrew some of the features of the cards so that they were a Marseille deck, but they kind of more accurately reflected the planet. This is like a whole new and much more exciting thing to make. So here we have the Pope. And I think, it'd be easy from a modern perspective to tilt cards like the Pope in one direction or the other. But I appreciate that this, it just shows us what it is, and our experiences of the Pope will be our experiences of it. One reason that I like that is because I do think that, and I do read the Pope as sort of a, colonizer, for lack of a better term. I mean, it's actually not even a bad term. It's pretty appropriate. But there are times where the card can represent faith or faith ways, etc. And so I think a certain amount of neutrality is good. The Lover, which is really the title as it is in French. It's not the Lovers. I think the Lovers came to us in Golden Dawn. This is just Great, great, great. Um, I love the Justice. Whenever I work with, so if you've watched my channel before, you know that I sometimes struggle with decks that feel too modern, um, for me aesthetically. But every time I do a reading with a deck that's fairly modern, like the Fifth Spirit is a good example, someone always points and says, "Oh, that's me," you know, and I love when that happens as a reader, but I love it for the client too. That's exactly what should happen. I never like Wheel of Fortune cards, but I quite like this. Just so good. I mean, it's really nicely done. I just have nothing but lovely things to say about it. And I love the sort of springishness of this death card, and also this like sort of skort. I think is kind of great. So yeah, I think it's it's great. It's just really successful. This is a real, I think, bank building in so-called Canada, and I love that. I thought it was a mega church when I saw the card on Instagram, which I also kind of love, but it's not. I think it's the headquarters of a bank. This is just a fresh, bright color. Not bright, but like rich, colorful moon. So good. So I love this. I love, you know, this. It's serious, but it has a sense of humor too, and I love that. And there's the happy squirrel. If you don't know the history of this, I think it comes from The Simpsons, if I'm not mistaken. The happy squirrel card. If I remember right, like Lisa Simpson gets the death card or something, and they're like, "Oh no, don't worry about that," and then she gets the happy squirrel, and they're like, which is again a very funny situation. So here we are in batons or wands, and again, I love a mix. I love a mix here of digital painting and photography and landscape. Sort of these very breathy, airy. I don't mean airy in the elemental, but you know, just open, I guess is the word. Skies in the backgrounds. And there's also some lovely details here with like acorns, and that's, you know, the foliage, etc. is, you know, it's a common thing in reading Marseille, to explore the dance of the what they call the arabesques, or the foliage. I tend to just call it the flora of the card, and I dig that in this case. So here we have the courts. The just sort of bright smile on this character. The knight, the queen, love them, and the king. Oh my god, the tie and the rainbow socks. I just love this. I'm very excited for it to come into the world. I really, really hope that if you're watching this, you will go support this deck, because it's great. There's a PDF guidebook, and again, I'll leave a lot of details in the description below. So I love these sort of pumpkin leaves around the cups, and corn, and squash. I just think it's beautifully done. I love creative, clever people, you know? It's just fun to me. I also love the sort of phases of the moon. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, hopefully. Phases of the moon on my cups, which I think is quite nice. So, Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups, King of Cups. It's funny having seen these on Instagram and now seeing them here on my table. I'm like, oh, that looks familiar. And then I'm like, oh, right, yeah, I saw it on Instagram. It's like this weird sort of like sense of, it's not deja vu, but it's like, why do I know this face? Oh, right, because I've seen it on Instagram. So, again, I just want to point out the foliage, which is so, a lot of people who make Marseille decks don't don't sort of put much thought into those, or they sort of recreate what's been done. And these are different flowers and flora, and I just sort of love that. And I love this glowing, sword. And also I love the kind of spade-shaped handle of the hilt of the handle, just sort of just nodding towards playing card. And again, just a really gorgeous color palette. And I think it's all the things that I certainly feel like I talk about wanting in decks. It's not like if you go back and watch this, if you're not looking closely, you're going to see like more than just the token wheelchair card. You're going to see other representations of visible disability. You're going to see a lot of expressions of gender. You're obviously going to see, again, people of global majority in the majority of the cards. I also love these planets, these Earths as the coins, these spheres. Just really clever and beautifully done. And I think, again, just really, really, really nice, exceptional, beautiful work. Page of Coins, Knight of Coins. I think this is my favorite queen, but the Queen of Coins and the King of Coins are often my favorite in decks. And I love her whole look, L-E-W-K, with like the high tops and like knee socks and a gown. I'm here for it. And the King. And again, like you're going to see lots of gender expressions. I'm going to shuffle and draw it out and draw some cards for you. But again, like this isn't the finished thing, so I don't want you to sort of think like, oh, that's how it's going to shuffle, etc. But I just want to give you a sense of what it looks like. Because I said so. Take that. I've been shuffling some really strangely sized decks recently, and so it's always interesting to come home to like a normal deck size that actually fits in my hand, because that is not or a thickness anyway. Sometimes the size of the cards is fine, but the thickness of the cards is like, I can't handle this. A date once told me that I had little bitch hands. And I still wanted a second date. Because I was young and desperate, I do have small hands. It's always been frustrating because it makes me unable to play the piano. Also, in addition to that, the fact that I can't really make my hands do separate tasks the way the piano kind of requires you to do. Or play the guitar or anything else. So this is a preview of the Kickstarter Marseille Prendre that is created by Krista of Annie K's Tarot. And this launches September 7th. So back it, because it's dope. And share it with your friends. And check out Krista's video for all the details around just the small changes and refinements that are being made. But like for some example, a couple things like converting Roman numerals for some of the Arabic numerals, adjusting the titles, and just some alignment, showing things more clearly, like showing the emperor, the Popes, the egg, making sure that it's easier to see the yolk inside the egg, for example. So there's just some, but you can see, even just laying this out, that it has sort of a life to it. It has dimension, and vie, I think, in French means life. So, it's got depth to it that sort of leaps off the table, which, again, I think is very, very cool. So I just think it's fantastic. So that's it, my friends. That's the preview of the Marseille Prendre by Krista of Annie K's Tarot. Details below. Hope you're well. Talk soon and be good.